Hey Ecclesia, happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day to you moms out there and to you.
Thanks.
Your mom.
You're my mom.
Oh, we're so missing y'all and wish we could be together celebrating with our traditional brunch, but hopefully you moms are going to get some form of brunch or some kind of spoil today, because this is the only day of the year that we celebrate mothers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we don't get any other day.
No, you don't. But I, for one, am so thankful for all the moms and really all the women in the church. I was actually just talking to Melody and some others, and actually, I think I tweeted about it for all of you followers out there. I'm so thankful for all of the strong women that we have in our church, and for the great example that y'all are to not just the little girls in our church, but the little boys and the rest of the community as well. I'm incredibly thankful for that. So on a day that we celebrate moms, I think we're also kind of celebrating women too. But anyway, just miss y'all a lot. Love y'all, and I'm thankful for you. So I'll quit gushing.
Thanks.
What do you have, Mel?
Well, one thing, we wanted to spend some time talking about our plans for the future for the church. And so with that in mind, really quickly, all of our groups and everything that's going on during the week, you can find on our website. So you can go there for questions about that. But what we really wanted to talk about this morning was what we're planning to do for the future, because as you all know, our government has in Tennessee has decided to allow for churches to reopen, but they've also given us really strict guidelines that we have to follow in order to do that. And because of those strict guidelines, it doesn't really feel like church. So a lot of the rules surround keeping social distance 6 feet apart, people wearing masks and gloves, and not doing kids ministry, and not serving coffee, and really keeping the singing to a minimum, like is some of what we've heard, and that sort of thing. And so with all of those restrictions in place, we just felt like it didn't feel like church. So what we are sacrificing just to be in the same room with people didn't feel worth it. And we want to protect you all. We want to protect our communities. We want to protect our neighbors. And so we are going to continue to do virtual church through the end of May. And after that point, we're going to continue to evaluate every 2 weeks or so, because we're getting new information all the time and things are changing a lot. And we don't fully understand this virus, which is really frustrating for a lot of people. And so with that in mind, we just want to honor that and continue to meet virtually through the end of May. So that's where we are right now. And we really hope that that will begin to change in June, that there will be steps that we can take in order to meet with one another. And so we'll be having those conversations as leadership, and we will let you guys know as soon as those decisions are made. And in the meantime, we love you all, and we can continue to meet on the interwebs, which is what we have right now. So that's where we're at.
Yep. And so this last week, I know we mentioned last week that there was going to be a new group, and we kicked that off Thursday night too. So there's yet another way for you to stay in community. And so we can continue to meet together and encourage one another. So you're not far behind on the book. And even if you're not going to read the book, these thought exercises that we're going to go through would be really good for everybody in this time for us to feel more empowered about all this change that's happening around us and how the world is changing and probably never going to go back to the way it was. So we're talking about everything has changed, everything must change. And we'll be thinking through how we can be a part of that change and affect change in a positive way and find that thread of hope through it. So join me this Thursday, and hope you can make that. And then all the other regular groups are still meeting. You can get that info on the website. But I think the last thing we wanted to mention was continue to be generous too. And we're not talking necessarily about the church, but we're still talking about caring for our neighbors. Yeah. So let's continue to look out for the people around you who have needs. If they're financial needs and you can meet that, let's continue to be generous. Don't give in to the fear that may set in as we're getting all this new information and we're being overwhelmed and perhaps listening to some of the fear mongers out there.
Yeah.
Let's not give in to the fear. Let's continue to be generous people, Christ-like people who are taking care of the marginalized around us. So if you have extra and you don't know who to give it to and you want to give it to the church so that we can redistribute it, you can give directly through Tithely or mail us a check. Just put benevolence in there. That way we keep it in that benevolence fund and we can distribute that as we hear of a need. So I think that was the last thing that we wanted to mention. So we love y'all. Thank you so much for being a part of this community, and let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Can we still say that?
We can still say it.
Okay.
Hey.